Joining me tonight, Dr. Sebastian Gorka, former Deputy Assistant to the President of the United States. Also joining me this evening is Yusuf Mohammed, regional political expert and commentator from Yemen. Dr. Hamidreza Gholamzadeh, Director of the House of Diplomacy, joining me live from Iran. Daniel Rubenstein, Israeli citizen, spokesperson and former member of the IDF spokesperson unit, joining me straight from Israel. And my first question to you, Daniel Rubenstein. What happened last night is a retaliation from Iran. The question on everybody's mind is when and how is Israel going to react?
I think a reaction is only a matter of time. We saw what happened in April when Iran fired ballistic missiles and sent suicide drones into Israel. And Israel's response to this was quite limited and measured in order to send a message to Iran that we can strike in Iran, but we are not seeking an escalation or a wider war. At this time in April, Iran didn't get the message that it's unacceptable to fire ballistic missiles in Israel. This time, I expect that Israel will need to respond in a much harsher way. Unfortunately, the international community has not brought enough pressure to bear on the regime in Iran to end its war against Israel and live in peace with all of its neighbors.
So let me ask you, Dr. Hamidreza, who's the provocator at this point in time? 181 missiles being fired at Israel. Is this the best reactions that Iran could think of? And does this really mean that the situation now is reached a point of no return and we're looking in the eye of a war not just restricted to Iran and Israel, but largely in the region as well as, many countries in the world taking position? Are we heading towards a World War kind situation?
We cannot discuss politics by slicing just a piece of time. And the situation in Gaza and Palestine is an 8-decade story. What we are seeing there is an occupation that has happened for many years. So we cannot just look at now who is the provocator or what the situation is right now at this particular part of time. So we should to consider the whole history for the better understanding of the situation. But what I can see is that Iran retaliated the recent incidents and recent attacks by Israelis in order to stop the war machine that the Zionist regime is carrying out in the region. So yes, we did carry out ballistic missiles, and we are of course proud of that because we are actually supporting Palestinians who are under genocide of the Israeli regime in the region, and is being supported by Americans and some Western countries. You just had actually an infographic and listing the name of those countries who are supporting this situation. So what I can see is that Iran is trying to show restraint, but it needs to defend itself and it needs to defend the security and stability in the region, which is threatened by the Israelis. And that is what they did last night, and they actually sent a message in April as well. But unfortunately, since the Israelis are in a situation of weakness, they are trying to do whatever they can in order to show some sort of strength and to show some, let's say, something that they want to have a show of power. So they are doing whatever they can in order to survive.
Dr.